Okay, today we are learning about graphing circles. We know our equation. I'll go longer. I'm going to talk for 10 minutes if you're silent. It's on recording now. It's like a contract. Shh. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. H comma k is the center. We talked about this yesterday. And r is the radius. Everybody with me so far? X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Okay. So now we need to look at how to graph it. So what's the center of this circle? It's 2, -2, 5. Right? It's the opposite of these. That's my center. And what's my radius? It's not 9, it's... If you wanna go longer. Okay, shh. It's the square root of the end. Correct. So I'm going to go -2 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to go 3 in every direction. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right there. That's my circle. That's the whole thing. We're done. So let's do it again for number 2. Number 2, what's the center of my circle? What's the opposite of -7?
7
0, right? Because there's nothing there. What is the radius? What's the square root of 1? 1, right? Okay, so how many seconds am I adding on to our 10 minutes now?
None. Do this
So,
side of the room.
Gentlemen.
Do this side of the room.
Okay, so I'm going to go over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up 0. And I'm going to go 1 in every direction. That's my circle. Okay, now we're going to do stuff that's a little bit harder because it's not in standard form, so we have to get the equations in standard form in order to graph them. So before we move on, everybody's understanding where I'm getting the center from, where I'm getting the radius from. Okay, let's move on to number 3. These are not in standard form. You can't have a number in front of x or y. You can have it being added or subtracted to it, but you can't have it being multiplied by it. How am I going to get rid of something that's being multiplied? What do?
You add it by the...
You don't add it. What's the opposite of multiplication? Divide. So we're going to divide everything by 5. Pretty straightforward so far. We've got x squared plus y squared equals 16. What's my center? Is there anything being added or subtracted to x or y?
Nope.
So the center is what? 0, 0. What's the radius?
So, 4.
It's 4, right? Because it's the square root of 16. 0, 0, and I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 1, 2, 3, 4. Over 1, 2, 3, 4. Questions? Because we're going to do another one that's a little bit different. Okay, I see y over here, but remember the standard form for my equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. I've got this other x over here with this 25 that I can't have. So I'm going to add my x squared to the other side. Okay, I have x squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 25. Okay, now what's my center? 0. 0 what? And what's my radius? 5. Good. So I put a dot on 0, -3. And then I go 5 in every direction. That's my circle. All right, let's turn it over. Try some on the back.
How much time is left?
Enough. Okay. So I don't have all my x's together, all my y's together, and a number by itself. Okay? So I'm going to have 2x minus 1 squared. I'm going to add this to the other side. Plus 2 times y plus 6 squared. I'm going to add this to the other side. Equals 8. Now, I can't have any numbers being multiplied. So what do I do to get rid of those 2's? What's the opposite of multiplication again? Division. I divide everything by 2. I get x minus 1 squared plus y plus 6 squared equals 4. Now what's my center?
1
And my radius? Perfect. I'm at 1. I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I go 2 in every direction. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's my circle. All right. The last 3 are a little more complicated. We have to do something called complete the square because it doesn't quite work out. So follow along with me with 6, and then I'll ask you questions about 7 and 8. Okay. First, I'm going to move my x's so they're near each other. So I've got x squared plus 6x plus y squared equals negative 5. The only thing I did is switch places where those two go. I didn't cross the equal sign, which is why I didn't subtract anything. Okay. Now I'm going to look at 6. What is half of 6? 3. Okay, so we're going to take half of 6. Whose ever music is playing so loud I can hear it, needs to be turned down. Well, somebody tap him because I'm making noises at him and he's not listening to me. Half of 6 equals 3. And then we're going to take 3 and we're going to square it. This is why it's called completing the square, because we squared something. We get 9. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go x squared plus 6x, and we're going to add the 9 in here, plus y squared equals negative 5 plus 9. We're going to add that 9 at the end. Okay, now if I just look at this half right here, what is x squared plus 6x plus 9 factored out? That's a 9, by the way. So it's x plus 3 what? Squared, right? See how we get a square at the end? That's what we want. Plus y squared equals, and what's negative 5 plus 9? What's negative 5 plus 9? You owe me $5, you have 9. Okay. Okay, what is the center then, guys? Negative 3, comma, 0. Radius is 2. This is a negative 3, by the way. I don't think it's real clear. Negative 3. Okay, so I'm going to go negative 3, 0. I'm going to go 2 in every direction. And I have my beautifully graphed circle. Okay, we're going to do at least one more complete the square. I'm going to try to do 2. First thing we want to do is get all the x's and y's on one side. So I'm going to subtract this 6y from both sides. Okay, step 1. X squared plus y squared minus 4y equals 32. Step number 1. Okay, I don't like this negative 4y right here, and I can't get rid of it because it doesn't have any like terms. So what is half of 4?
2.
Okay, what is 2 squared?
4.
Okay, so I'm going to add a 4 to both of these sides. So I'm going to get x squared plus y squared minus 4y plus 4 equals 32 plus 4. So far, so good? Did I lose anybody? When you have this weird thing where you have a y that's not being squared or an x that's not being squared, you take half that number, square it, and add it to both sides. Okay, just looking at the y's, we're going to move the x squared down. Just looking at y squared minus 4y plus 4, what is that going to be? It's going to be y plus or minus what? How would I factor that? What two numbers multiply to give you 4 but add to give you negative 4? Negative 2. squared equals 32 plus 4 is 36. So my center is 0, 2. And the square root of 36 is 6. We're going to graph that 0. We're going to go up 2. And then we're going to go 6 in every direction. And there's my circle. Okay, it's over my 10 minutes, so I can stop right now or I can do one more. What do you guys want? One more? Okay, I'm doing one more. I'm not going to yell at you for talking because I said I wasn't going to do it, but people want one more. I've got x squared plus 14x, so I switch places with those. I'm going to subtract 2y from both sides. Plus y squared minus 2y equals negative 41. Okay, I've got two things. I've got 14 and 2. So I'm going to have to do 2 completing the squares. So what's half of 14, guys?
7.
What's 7 squared? 49. And what's half of negative 2, guys? Negative 1. What's negative 1 squared? 1. Okay, so I'm going to get x squared plus 14x plus 49 plus y squared minus 2y plus 1 equals negative 41 plus 49 plus 1. Okay, I'm doing 2 at once. So now I'm going to factor this first part. So that gives me x plus 7 squared. Plus I'm going to factor this part. I get negative 1. Y minus 1 squared equals negative 41 plus 49 plus 1 gives me 9. So my center is negative 7, 1, radius is 3. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up 1, and I'm going to go 3 in every direction. That's my circle. Okay, and I am done. Your homework is just stuff like this.